Lady Val here, and I am back today to continue on with my participation in the Out with the Bang, the last days of summer 2026. This is a collaboration that's put on by Mandy from SunflowersAndDors and Julie from Julie's Papercrafts, and it's a month-long collaboration in which there are multiple creators, some single on one day and some double on one day. So it's really fun, and there are prompts for each day. So I did my prompt yesterday, which was half an image, and I shared my day with Creating by Jovi, and I just watched her video not too long ago, and oh my gosh, what a beautiful piece of art she made with the half image. I don't want to spoil it, but it's definitely worth a watch. So go on over to her channel, Creating by Jovi, and watch it. It's truly amazing. I was so admire people that are that creative. She's a beautiful artist. So enjoy that. In the meantime, I am just carrying on with this is my base journal that I shared with everyone yesterday in my day 4 video about half an image. And today I'm going to just be adding a few elements from the kits. I am actually combining using both kits. So some of the pieces that I'll be using throughout my decorating will be, from Mandy's kit, Beloved Memories, and some will be from Julie's kit, which is Heirloom Sunflowers. So those are available in her Etsy store if anybody is interested. So what I'm going to do first, I did some of the preparation ahead of time, just so, it keeps the video moving. But I took one of this was from the Freebie, which if you are a member of either of those groups, the ladies are putting out some really wonderful freebies, and this was a freebie pocket for this week, and I thought, well, I'll definitely use that. And I took one of the sunflowers from Julie's kit and heat embossed it. I used my favorite glaze, which is the Tea Rose embossing glaze. I just love this. It's great. I have other colors, and I always go to the Tea Rose. But anyway, I'm gonna be putting that on, and then I'm gonna be putting this pocket on the very first page right here. And I made a little tag to go in it with that came with Mandy's kit. Just decorated it up a little bit and used some ribbon. I had some ribbon because I mentioned yesterday I did some other bead journals previously for my daughters, and I had some black ribbon, and I have all different kinds of yellow pieces of yellow fabric. So that's what I used to make the tie at the top, and then I had my black and white twine, and just added a little knot here just to give it a little bit more pizzazz. So let's get started on that bit. I'm going to do 2 different little decorations today, and I'm going to start by putting these together. I have 2 pieces of my colored cheesecloth. I just bought, it was actually gauze that I had just a ton of it from various things. I just had this whole stack of it. So I took some of the pieces and I dyed each one with my distress sprays from Tim Holtz, and these are the 2 colors. I had some brown and some golden yellow color, and I thought, well, this will go perfectly here. So I'm just going to use a little bit of glue here to get started with that. And put my gauze down, my cheesecloth / gauze. and what I had in mind. It's a simple, you know, decoration. Just to use one of the bee stamps from Mandy's kit and put the sunflower on there, and that's really all that little envelope needs because it's so pretty on its own. So let's get some glue on this. And I did the heat embossing off camera because, you know, the heat gun is very noisy. So I hope everybody is joining in this collaboration that wants to. This is my second year doing it, and I just find it a lot of fun. The prompts help, you know, give you encouragement on something to do that day, or it doesn't have to be on that day. You can use the prompts or not use the prompts, you know, however you like it. And you know, if you're a part of the group, the freebies are very generous and very pretty, and you can make yourself a nice little journal with just the freebies. So okay, this needs just a little more glue on this side. Press that down. Sometimes you kind of have to be a little patient with the glue when there's something underneath it, like the gauze, the cheesecloth / gauze. So just give it an extra press or two and a couple seconds to catch, and you're good to go. I'm going to put a little bit of glue there to tack that down. Well, I know the people in Oregon, I'm in the U.S. in California, and we've had our fair share of fires so far this fire season. I had one that was just a little over 2.5 miles from my house a couple weeks ago, and you know, you always watch with anticipation. Luckily, not for us, but luckily for us, but not for the other people that it was heading toward. But it was heading away from us. We have a lot of winds here. I live in Pinyon Hills in the high desert. And yeah, we have, you know, a lot of winds here. So the winds were pushing it up the mountain. I live right below a ski resort in the mountains, Wrightwood, and it was pushing it that way. But our firefighters are amazing here. They tell you that a few years ago with the Blue Cut fire, where we had 33,000 acres burned and people lost their homes and all, that was so tragic. But the firefighters are so dedicated and so amazing. And this fire that I was just talking about, that was 2.5 miles from my house, was stupidly set by someone using fireworks. And fireworks are illegal in this area because of the fire hazard, go figure. So hopefully they caught this person and they, you know, prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law, because I'll tell you, that is a scary thing to have your home threatened. That is for sure. So I think I want one more little embellishment. Get a hold of it. This was also one of the freebies, this little official record with a date on it. I think I'm going to put that up just a little bit since it already glued down. My crafting knives are, this one is sharp, I know. That one is very, there we go. That one, right, the blue one I have is pretty dull. I kind of keep that for taking the backs off of stickers and things when I, need to remove the backing. There, that's perfect. That's what I wanted. Yeah, so the fires can be scary, but I know the people in Oregon and Washington are really suffering now, and my heart goes out to them because I know what it can be like. I have experienced it personally, so I hope that they get it all under control. And I understand there's one of the ones in the Spokane area was also arson, so yeah, not good. Okay, now this little pocket has gussets on it, so I'm gonna open this up, put some glue, right on the edge of the gusset on the 3 sides. And of course the gussets give you more room in the pocket if you want to, add more than one thing. It will, give you plenty of room to do that. Make sure that it's stuck down. And there's our little tag. See, and that gives it plenty of room if I want to put some of the other tags as we go along in there. I think that would work beautifully. And I think what I want to do, I have my homemade tape. This you just make with, you can either, in this case I just use clear Scotch tape, clear tape. And I use my various colors of alcohol inks. And that way you can make them any color you want for any, any way you want. I'm gonna put that one down. I keep getting it stuck. Come on. There we go. Stuck to my fingers. And use this piece. This has a little more color on it. There we go. Perfect. Okay, that's one done. Now the other thing I'm going to do on camera is for this next page here, I'm going to make a long page tab, so I'm going to get that out of the way, and I have some bits out here that I want to possibly use. And this I'm kind of following, just loosely following some of the prompts for this collaboration. And I think one of them had to do with fabulous florals or something like that. So I'm using quite a bit of the sunflowers on this make. But I'm using, again, elements from both Mandy's and Julie's kits just to, because they're both just really beautiful kids. And they do coordinate. Julie, the nice thing about Julie's kit is she has a lot of background papers. So what I did in the book, if you didn't watch my video yesterday, I did a quick flip through of my base journal, and I had used quite a few of the papers in Mandy's kit that had the little bee people on them, and I backed them with the papers in Julie's kit because she has a lot of really beautiful background papers. So I thought that way the backs of my, you know, beloved papers would not be, you know, stark white. They would have, you know, Julie's papers on them. So that's what I did there, and that worked out beautifully. So okay, and this this one I'm going to extend with this piece from Mandy's kit. What this other piece that I started with is just a scrap I had, you know, from the kit, and it, I believe, is about 1.5 inches, so it was a 3-inch strip, and I just folded it in half, and it's the length of the page, so you know, it's a full page. It's going to be a full page tab. Full page tab. I like making these. So, and then once you get your, you know, your actual tab, and you can start building the layers, because that's basically all of any kind of a tab, or, you know, that kind of a thing. You just build your layers. And this one is going to be glued all the way down on this side, and this side on the other side, which I did put some of the mustard seed ink on it, and I'm not sure how I'm going to decorate that side, but it's going to just be a pocket on the other side, so it's going to be glued on these sides, so there's a place to tuck, you know, some things in there. So I don't want to go over the top too much on this because it's going to show on the other side of the page, so it's going to be more going downward. I apologize for my voice if it sounds kind of croaky to you. I'm on this medication that causes this croakiness. Yeah, it's a inhaler, and I need to use it every day. And when I do, some days it's worse than others. And today, unfortunately, is one of those days where it seems to be worse. So you know, there's nothing really I can do about it, because this is the way it is for the day until it wears off, which is not anytime soon. So it's just the way it is for now. Get a Kleenex here and wipe some of that glue off. I got glue happy. I tend to do that. You know, I'm a heavy gluer, and I tend to, you know, over glue sometimes. So, okay. And I'm not, let's see that. I think I'm going to put this little, yeah, I think it's going to have to go on top of the flower. But I don't want to cover up too much of the flower. Well, I guess I can do it that way. Yeah, let's do it that way. So with these long page tabs, I like them because you can you can just do anything. You know, it's just, you know, let your imagination flow. I have made them where I have kind of made the front to the back match up, so I can, you know, when you put them on a page, they look the same on each side, or almost the same. And they may not be exactly the same, but almost the same. And I'm only gonna, on some of these, I'm only gonna glue the top or the bottom or whatever it is, so if I want to stick something under it, I won't have to pull it back up again like I did just a little bit ago, because I can always go back and glue it down if I need to. Okay. Come on. Okay, I'm having trouble picking everything up today. See, that's perfect there. And again, shouldn't have glued all the way down, but I did. Just got through telling you what a heavy gluer I was, and that I tend to over glue, and sure enough, did it again before I thought. Just cleaning up some of the glue, and that's what I like about my Beacons 3-in-1. You can get all that excess glue off. And if I were smart, I wouldn't put so much on, right? I hear you all saying that. Okay, now let's see. This was left over from my little from the decorations on my little project yesterday, or for my, actually it was from the prototype for my project yesterday. I cut it in half and used the half of the honeycomb octagon. I think that looks good there. And basically, you know, this is just like making clusters, only it's a big cluster. That's the only difference. You know, you just decide what looks good to you and you place it down, and that's really how it works. There's no rhyme or reason, there's no right or wrong. It's just what is pleasing to you. That upside down. Let's see, how are we going to do this? I have this little butterfly to add in there. I'll do that somewhere over there. And we have our little bee stamp, another smaller bee stamp. That looks good there. go. And this was part of the freebie that was in the SunflowersAndDors group this week. A lot of good stuff. Good stuff. So if you just happen to be running across this video and are not a part of the group, you know, and are interested in joining, I'm sure that Mandy and would love to have you, and so would Julie and her group. Okay, put that there. And again, I decided not to be too over gluey, just not putting them out to the edges here. Don't want to cover our little bee's antennae there. Not so sure about this butterfly. If I put it this way, kind of covers up our little bee people up there. If I put it this way, it kind of sticks up over the edge there. I could just cut it off a bit, or I could put it down more, but then it covers up the sunflower. So let me rethink that. In the meantime, we have this tiny little ticket. See if that can go somewhere. Put it right side up. Okay, yes, again. Good, it hadn't stuck down all the way yet.